Hello there. According to Dublin, there will be an EU-UK trade deal agreed within 2 weeks. But reports this afternoon claim that could now be as little as 1 week. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. And a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. Now, just to get started with, one little snippet of news that seems to have passed most people by is a recent Reuters report saying that the UK will be withdrawing from EU military missions as of the end of this year. The report says that the UK has formally notified Brussels of its intention to cease participation in missions after the 31st of December 2020. It seems that as non-members of the EU, we are not able to either lead or take part in such enterprises. So Spain and Italy have agreed to put more resources in to replace those of the UK. So this must surely remove any requirement for the UK military and security arms to continue to be joined at the hip with those of the EU. After all, if we can't operate with them, then why be forced to use the same kit and procurement procedures? Unless there's some extra military treaty being written behind closed doors as part of these Brexit negotiations that are due to move to Brussels tomorrow. And on that, many are saying that the deafening silence emanating from the Brexit negotiations at present is a good sign. A good sign for a deal, that is. For example, the Foreign Affairs Minister of the Republic of Ireland, Simon Coveney, says that a trade deal is now likely. And because of the Brussels bureaucracy timings involved, there is talk that a deal would have to be agreed by this coming Tuesday. A bit of a tall order, one thinks. Anyway, speaking in an Irish farmers webinar, Simon Coveney said that we're likely to get a deal, but it won't be easy. And he also said that there is a lot at stake over the next 10 to 14 days and added, there's no such thing as a no-deal Brexit anymore. What we're now fighting is a no-trade deal Brexit, which from an agricultural perspective would be hugely disruptive on many, many levels. We've got to be ready for January the 1st. There's going to be no more extensions of time, no more transition periods. Time is up at the end of the year. And he's got that bit right, and it's looking like the pressure is beginning to take its toll on the EU side. For example, the financial services provider Allianz put together a report that says a hard Brexit could cost the EU €33 billion in annual exports. And the report goes on to say, the odds for a no-deal Brexit at the end of 2020 have considerably increased to 45%. While we do still expect a last-minute compromise, given the social, political and economic consequences of such an outcome on top of the continuing COVID-19 crisis in the UK and across Europe in general, a hard Brexit could cost as much as €33 billion in annual EU exports, with Germany €8.2 billion, the Netherlands €4.8 billion and France €3.6 billion hit the hardest. And it equates those figures to an 11.2% drop in the volume of exports from Germany into the UK, a 10.5% drop for the Netherlands and 11% for France. Now, the report appears to base this on the tariffs that the UK will be imposing on imports from third countries, that is, countries we do not have deals with. And without a Brexit deal, that would obviously also include the European Union. Allianz says that inflation will rise to 5% plus in the UK for at least 6 months, because those tariffs will have to be paid for by the end purchasers, the UK consumers. But I'm not sure that the Alliance reports factors in any downward movement in EU manufacturers' prices to help them shift their gear into the UK. The report also says that the UK will see a 5% contraction in GDP and a 15% drop in exports. But if UK tariffs are set to protect UK businesses properly, then won't that encourage UK producers to redirect goods into the domestic market and gear up production where required? Especially as we will be a third country to the European Union, so Brussels will be charging their common external tariff on our goods going into the EU single market. Now, consumers in the UK, the EU and across the world are all very price conscious, and if they want a product, they will shop around for it. Further, if they want an EU product and are prepared to pay for it, then the extra they pay for the tariffs will, for the first time in decades, be going 100% into the UK Treasury coffers instead of lining the pockets of Brussels. It then comes down to what the UK government uses that extra money for. Investment in industry to help it become more self-reliant, maybe. All adding up to UK consumers changing their habits and buying from cheaper domestic providers where at all possible, and then from the cheapest importer where that is not possible. And as this pandemic has proved, being more self-sufficient across the board can only be considered as a good thing. And that's not protectionism, that's good sense. Sure, buy imported goods where you have to or where you want to, don't ban them or put huge trade barriers in the way, but where possible produce goods within the UK, and that will also make it easier to set up a sensible and fair tax regime. And it's when we can do things like this that the situation gets really interesting for the UK and its prosperity. And there's also any actions the government might take in order to address any adverse issues. The Chancellor Rishi Sunak has announced today that he will be delivering the 2020 spending review on the 25th of November. In a tweet earlier today he said, "On the 25th of November I will deliver the 2020 spending review alongside the OBR forecast, setting out spending plans for the next year so we can continue to prioritise our response to COVID-19 and protect jobs." And in a statement the government said, "While the government would have liked to have outlined plans for the rest of this Parliament, the right thing today is to focus entirely on the response to COVID-19 and supporting jobs. That's what the public would expect. The government has put in place considerable support for businesses, families and the economy throughout the current crisis, and will continue to show flexibility and creativity in our response." Now, the whole review is rightly centred on responding to the pandemic, but it will of course have to sweep up Brexit during the process for completeness. And the other big message here is that we will know exactly where the country is going by the 25th of November. We will know whether it's a bodge Brexit deal or a no-deal Brexit. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below, and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.